Yes, bro, we are live and recording.
Cool.
So, before we start, I had this epiphany the other day. This is for the people at home. I had this epiphany the other day
Mm.
after we got inspired to just come off our conversation and to do a podcast where we spoke about I Know Why Lauryn Hill only released that one album. Yeah. I
Yeah.
then discovered there's this app called Opus Clip. And what you do is you copy and paste a YouTube link, and the AI will automatically find short from it. So you can select 30 seconds up to a minute. And I don't know how long our talk was. It could have been an hour or something. But it found like 20 odd clips. And it also rates its virality score. It gives you like a title.
Nice.
Use as well. The reason why I'm just mentioning it is because this is something that I want to do more of, which is why I've got Leo here, and I'll do it with other people. Long form content is just so easy. You create it once, and then hopefully there are gems that exist within it, and those can be used as YouTube shorts. It can be used as stories on Instagram. It can be used on posts on Instagram. It can be used on TikTok. And that just adds to everything else that you are already doing. So that's kind of, I just wanted to just kick off and kind of explain that's what the intention around it and helping to just create more content is. And so, yeah, that's it really. Lee?
Thank you for sharing that. No, you told me about that last time. I think it's wicked. You know, the technology nowadays.
I told you that on the phone.
Yeah.
I didn't tell them that.
Yeah,
So
you told me.
Kind
So
of what I feel like is what we should do is make the audience like the third friend in the discussion. So when I feel like there's some good information,
I don't think the audience wants to be my friend. I'll cuss them all the time.
Or juicy. What do you say?
I said that if you're my friend, it's just pure abuse I'll be giving you. You know how it is, Al.
You idiots. Yeah. So
ready for the banter.
Yeah. So
go on. Sorry.
No, I was saying that's it. So, like, we're going to talk about some topics today. So, let's talk about the presidential debates that's happening in America. Firstly,
Trump versus Kamala. I don't know how to do it.
Depends which version of Kamala. Is it the yo, what's up, Kamala? Right.
Doom. Yo.
So listen,
hilarious.
When did you start taking an interest in politics and American politics? Because obviously you're not American.
When did I? Okay, so I started taking an interest. It's not necessarily in politics to say. I mean, I don't vote. I've never voted in my life. Yeah, and I don't intend to vote. That's a different topic anyway. But it's not that I started having an interest in politics. I just started having interest in current affairs, just things that are happening in our life. And it was 9/11 was the shifting point for me when I started seeing things that the press was saying, the media was saying, didn't make sense to me, and I was confused. I was like, well, this doesn't make sense. And it just kind of started from there. I mean, we can do a whole podcast on that whole thing. You'd be calling me Leo the conspiracy guy, but yeah, I'm a truth seeker. That's what I am. But yeah, it kind of started from there, and just understanding the media, understanding how the media talk. There's a certain way the media talks. Are you all right there?
Yeah, no, my sofa, it has a part, it's very posh.
Oh, them cheap ones.
No. My sofa,
yeah,
trust me, it's one of them big, it's huge.
Yeah, I know that ones.
Let me stand. But
no, your sofa's serious.
I
remember.
You can lift each of the individual parts, like the back part, the brace. I don't know if to show you, but
no, it's a serious sofa.
It's a serious. You can.
No, I'll let you off.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, so don't.
I'll let you off. It's better than mine.
I wanted to make it. Yeah, yours is static.
What is that? Yours is AI.
Yours doesn't move. Mine hugs me. Spooning.
Yeah. I'll let you off. That's 1-0. What was I saying? So yeah, it was just pretty much that, just seeing how the media talk, because the media talk in a specific way, and once you understand how the media talk, you can start now predicting what they're going to say and stuff like that. And I realized politicians talk the same, and so it was just understanding the way these people talk versus what you're seeing versus your reality, and seeing how those two were conflicting each other. And so I was thinking, these people are in control of our lives. And these people are saying things that doesn't make common sense. And so that's how I got into this whole, because America fundamentally, if we want to admit it or not, America really controls the narrative of the world. Like everyone looks to America regarding, our consciousness. We obviously did their own X, their own Twitter, their own Facebook. You've got the whole social media, Silicon Valley is there, their own Hollywood. So even though we might not believe it, we are socially conditioned by Hollywood and Hollywood's narrative, and the films and things that we consume hypnotize us. They do. Make us think a certain way. So that's why America is a superpower. So that's why, even though I'm not American, we are all products of American hypnosis. We're all products of America's propaganda, because they dictate how we see the world, as far as I'm concerned. And so that's how pretty much I landed in this space of being interested in what the powers that be talk and impact our lives. Because once you understand how they talk, you can sense that, you can see the bullshit, and then you can maneuver the right way, as opposed to not knowing what they're saying, not understanding the language they speak, and whenever they talk, you believe them, and then you just follow what they say, and then you follow them into the abyss. So that's pretty much how I landed in politics. So I'm not a politician. I don't vote or anything like that, because that's a whole nonsense. But however, I do feel that this election, if I was American, I would vote. If I was American, I would vote, and I hope people do vote, because even though I don't believe in it, for some reason, for this one, I think it's important that they do.
Yeah. So I would say that I became more politically aware. I've always kind of known certain things, but where I actually started to really research properly was, like, I would say, was COVID. And I would say that you gave me the red pill. Yeah. So you're the one that gave me the pill that once you see, you can't unsee. And there was a lot of misinformation. I mean, no, it was before COVID, because I wrote my song Erica about media manipulation. So I knew the media was always lying, and I knew from the days of Amy, they lie and manipulate. I always did know it. And also, when I think back to my childhood as well, when you grow up in a Black community, a British Black Jamaican community, there are stories that our elders share, and passed down from their elders and their elders, that we understand and know within our culture. But the narrative within schools, within the mainstream media, is not the same narrative. So you always knew that there was always a spin on the narrative. That ain't true. That don't make sense. So that's I would say that's the foundation. But when I mean really, where my eyes really opened, I would say COVID. You had nothing to do, nowhere to go, and then you start seeing things, and you're seeing how they're manipulating information.
Yeah,
and it's really deep. And I do think that there's a shift that's gone on in the world. And this shift has meant that people no longer trust legacy media. Because so many things have come out. Even when you see, like, Elon Musk has bought Twitter. And I still don't know if Elon Musk is a good guy or a bad guy. I think he's a good guy, but I don't know. I just don't know. We could talk about that at a later stage.
We could talk about
basically, that. Basically, what I want to say is I've become a conspiracy theorist.
You have.
I'm talking all of this asking you questions. And the thing
Well,
is,
do you want to say conspiracy theorist? Because conspiracy theorist is a tainted term.
I'm a truth seeker.
Yeah.
The reason why I say is because conspiracy theory means it's everything that you say that people will say is conspiracy theory. I'm open to the idea that it might be true.
Yeah.
And not just that. Things that I don't know. Okay, I'm going to tell you something straight up. There are people that say the earth is flat, the earth is round. We're now going to something different, but I just need to, you know, it is. I want people to know who I am and how I think. So there's no kind of deviation of, oh, you think, no. Let me just tell you. They say, is the world round? Is the world flat? The reality is, I don't know. I don't know if it's round or flat. I don't know. I've never been. And the thing is, the same people that teach have taught me stuff, I know they've lied to me. So the reality is, when people are like, oh, how can you be so stupid to think this? Or how can you be so stupid to think that? I don't know. And I also haven't done deep enough research to say it. I'm like, there's a possibility for both. And it's definitely not fucked up. It's just, I really don't think them. I don't trust them. That's really how I feel. So I believe I'm a truth seeker, and I want to seek truth in it. And I feel like lockdowns, the COVID, all of that kind of stuff really made me kind of look at the lay of the land and see the manipulation. So talking now about Trump and Kamala, how do you think it is going?
Well, you know, it's weird because I think there's parallel universes going on here. There's the people that support Trump who are very much, you know, Trump is the guy. Trump is the one that's going to lead America to the promised land. He's already did it in his first term, and they had no wars and stuff like that. And you know, it was quiet in on that whole, you know, what do you call it, like terrorism scene or war scene. Everything was pretty much quiet there. And then, you know, he was.
Sorry, side note, do you see how all the terrorists disappeared in COVID?
Well, yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, if I was that was prime time terrorism period. You know,
everyone was home. You knew where everyone was. You could have got everyone. They were all chilling at home.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, go on.
So you have those people there, you know, the Republicans and people that are very much, you know, staunch believer in, you know, the American flag, the American way, you know, liberty, and you know, the South, you know, protecting yourself. And then you've got the Democrats who, in their world, it's more about, I mean, when I'm talking about what Kamala and what the Democrats have been doing, is they're more pandering to the black community. You understand? And I'm seeing that more so now, especially with Kamala, you know, in the way that she's being endorsed by, you know, like the rappers, Megan Thee Stallion twerking on the thing, and then she'll go on, and I see it now, but then it makes me see even more in the past with when you know, Hillary Clinton went on the Breakfast Club and she was talking about, you know, she has hot sauce, and I'm thinking
in her bag.
And I'm thinking,
when Kamala said that she washed her greens in the bath.
Yeah.
You see, let me see something.
That's what I know.
See something.
I find it insulting.
There's a distinction, but there's something like there are cultural things that you know when you're in a culture that doesn't make sense outside the culture. No one carries bloody hot sauce in their bag, but because on the surface level you're like, black people love hot sauce, so yeah, that's what I do. Like, but no one carries it in their bag. They don't. Like, you understand?
It's racist.
No one washes food in a bath in the culture. No one does that.
It's racist. Do you not think it's actually it's so demeaning, degrading, and racist? That's like me. That's like me saying, imagine if I wasn't black and some guy came and said to me, you know, yeah, you know, Leo, so yeah, because you're gonna come to my house. Yeah, I've made sure I've got chicken for you. Yeah, fried. I've made sure I've got it.
That's bad. That's not as bad. I don't think
that's
bad. No, because that's not pandering. That's like a comment.
No, that's not. It's not, no, that pandering is different. That's being not only beyond stereotypical, that's being so beyond prejudice. That's like saying because you're black, I'm going to say it's like me saying to an Indian. Hold on, it's like me saying to an Indian. One second, Zalon.
Watermelon.
Okay, watermelon, but it's like me saying to an Indian guy, listen, I want to invite you around to my house, and I've made sure I've made curry because we love.
I don't agree. Do you know why?
You don't think that's as bad?
Nah. I don't think it's the same thing because I think that sometimes you can welcome cultures because typically Indian people have curries. So it's like I've made curries because I know that that's your national dish.
Yes.
So I don't see it as the same thing.
No,
Like,
okay. So let me add a caveat.
Let me tell you the reason why. At the core of it, those things that both Kamala and Hillary said seem inauthentic. No, you do not carry hot sauce in your bag everywhere you go.
Yes, it's pandering because this pandering.
Exactly. And whereas with Kamala, no, you don't wash your greens in the bath. You don't do that. Or if you do, you're nasty. Like no one does that. So
okay, what about Megan Thee Stallion? It's the same thing.
What do you mean?
Getting Megan Thee Stallion to come and twerk on your thing. It's the same thing because it's like
they're trying
to get the black vote. That's
Let me ask you a question.
Go on.
So I know we're kind of skating all over the place, but this is how conversations go, right? So Beyonce, her and her team must have an understanding of the lay of the land, of how people feel in this election. And Usher, who also said, hey, I do not want to
pick us up in politics. People should vote.
Yeah, they go out there and they perform or endorse Kamala after the general consensus based on the algorithms that I see is that black people aren't biting it. That's the reason why you got Obama that's come out of nowhere and all of a sudden is starting speaking to the American black men and saying, yo, you have to vote. What's wrong with you? And kind of sticking it on them. So why? I mean, I know why you think they do it, but do you not think that they think it's detrimental to their brand?
Yeah, it's detrimental, but you have to do it because we're bigger than you and your brand, and this is we're calling you now to cash in the chips. We're calling you in now. We've given you all this stuff, so now we're calling you in. That's the whole point. You're famous. The whole point you've got this. How big you are is because we've allowed you to be this big. So now we're calling it in. The whole point of you being famous is so that you have influence. So when you have influence, I'm going to call you in to assert your influence because this is when it's needed. That's why these people are allowed to do all these things and be famous and be big and all of that stuff like that and be allowed to be on front cover, have all this amass wealth, because when push comes to shove, when the daddy says, right, we all need to come to my bedroom now, right? I'm bring the lube. Regardless of whether you like it or not, you have to walk up them steps with the lube in your hand and get ready. That is the bottom line, you know, because they are in dire straits right now, the Democratic Party, based on what the polls and things that said. It says that Trump is landsliding them, right? So they have to pull out all the stops. They have to do everything. And the black vote is, especially in the swing states, the black vote is an important vote. You understand? And so they're pandering to them to try and get the black votes. It's a similar technique when they used for COVID, when they used the more outlandish things, when the guy said, when they'll do everything to get people to get the vaccine, everything. Come and get a burger. You get free fries. You know, Krispy Kremes were giving out free donuts to get vaccine. They'll pull out all the stops, regardless of how ridiculous it may seem to normal folk, because they're in dire straits. And so now all the celebrities are now coming out. Usher, Beyonce, Samuel L. Jackson.
Because their fans, if you look at the comments, their fans hate it.
Yeah, because like you said earlier in this thing, you said once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you see the way the machine works, once you see how the media works, once you see how the manipulation works, You can see it, and you can actually now see in their next move. You're exposed. I can see your next move. I can see how you think. I see how you work, and it's pathetic. But they've been doing this since day one. It's just that we didn't have the glasses on. But now we have the glasses, we can see it. And like I said, just to caveat from what I'm saying, if you guys have not seen the film They Live, go and watch the film They Live. It's an incredible film. It's like 1980s. It's about a guy who finds these glasses, and every time he puts these glasses on, these sunglasses on, he's able to see the world for what it really is. He's able to see marketing for what it really is and how it manipulates us, the people that don't have the glasses on. It's an incredible film. Go watch it. It's going to open your eyes.
With aliens that are like dressed in human suits. But
no, so you get, I don't want to spoil it for them, but you,
glasses. But yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. It's like, once you see all this stuff happening with the celebrity endorsements and the media and all this stuff, you see it. It's like you see it. And what's kind of frustrating is, you know, when other people don't have these glasses on and they can't see it, and they fall in for the magic, because it's military grade. It's fantastic what they're doing. It's unbelievable, but it works.
So the other thing that I wanted to say about this is, why do you think that they picked Kamala when it doesn't seem that she can articulate herself well? Like, you know, I remember watching something where they say that when you are communicating, whether it's in speaking or like in marketing, you should do it to like a grade 8 level, like maybe the age of somebody who's 11, because that means that that's an understanding that everybody can understand. If people have to think too much, then they're going to thinking mode, processing mode, and they're not actually digesting what you're saying. So Trump is really simple, like, yeah, that man, bad, so bad, terrible, done a terrible job, never use him again. No, I should know, really, he's bad, he's terrible. It's so simple, but you get what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
There's no mixed communication, good, bad. He thinks he's bad, you know?
Yeah.
But it seems like she doesn't know how to. Like, I saw a clip from Obama when he's come out now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that guy has a way. He's got charisma,
charm. He's got it all.
I saw. I don't know the lyrics, but Eminem came out, right? And then after he came back, he goes, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that I came out after him. My palms are sweaty. My palms are ready." Like, you know, he started speaking his rap. And he's like, "My son and my gun are ready." And I was like, "All right, mama." And everyone's singing. And you know us black people, you like those references, we're like, yeah. Like,
ready to vote. yeah, he's got my ticket. Easy.
You know, and you know, I love it here because Candace Owens, right? She's like, yeah, that's it. You like, she's like, hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, I got him. But anyway, listen, Candace Owens has done, I don't know if you know about this. Did you watch Candace Owens? Did you see the Candace Owens? Kamala. So basically, there is this thing where Kamala says, well, basically, Kamala came out as Indian.
Right.
And then
before you want to go, do you want to answer the question you asked me? Why do you think? Because you don't want to leave people hanging. You said, okay, why do I think Kamala? They picked Kamala because she's not.
Yeah. Why do you think they picked Kamala?
So this is what it is, and it makes sense. And I'll let me red pill you right now. We are now in 2024, right? Just like in the music industry, you got to think about this logically. Just like in the music industry, a record label would find an artist, yeah, and that artist, they'll have songwriters, someone that's going to write the songs for those artists, because someone that's going to do their photo shoot, someone that's going to teach them how to talk to the public, teach them all these things. But now the record label owns that artist. The record label can, you know, put them in front cover of this, and that artist now is going to amass fans, which the record label fundamentally controls, because the record label controls the artist. It's the same thing in politics, and it has to be. Like, if you can have someone that looks the part, that can talk well, but we're going to tell them what to say, but we are actually in control. Why wouldn't you do that? Because think about this, to find someone that's articulate, one person that is articulate, that can move people, that has the charisma, that has all these talents, right? And is saying the right thing that you want them to say. How hard is it to find someone that has all of that and is liked? You can't. So what's the next best thing? You have to find someone that looks the part, and then you tell them what to say. You have a team that's going to tell them what to say.
Yeah, but
you have because then is the control.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but here's the thing. I think you have to start at a base level of somebody who can communicate.
But we're in 2024, and I don't think we have to now, because how's everything done?
I think this is why I don't think she's favorable, because, for example, they'll ask her a question and everyone's noticed you haven't answered the question. They've go, okay, so what do you say about people who said you've been in the White House for a few years now, and you are the border czar? He said, well, Trump is a devil. And it's like, no. And they tried to bring her back, and she goes, I'm glad you asked me that question. And then she leaves.
I'm a middle class.
And I think, no, but here's the thing. If she's got people who are there telling her what to say, blah, blah, they would have to do some artist development, right? Where they say, because people have said, she cackles. They don't like that. I'm saying based on the comments. So whatever information I can just see, they must have a deeper analysis of everything.
Yeah.
Okay, don't laugh, wear this, wear bright colors, say it like this, blah, blah. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I do.
So I feel like she doesn't answer questions, and what she does is she just tries to paint Trump as a bad person, and it hasn't worked to this point. They've been using the same formula, but it didn't work. People was like, from the beginning when she was doing it, people were like, but you're not answering the question and you keep on blaming Trump. And people are like, but I don't know what your policies are. You're not saying what you're going to fix. You're just saying why he's bad. I'm saying from the get-go, why has there never been a pivot where they've said like, okay, so you want to know what we're going to do? We're going to change this. We're going to change. I know she has done it, but I mean, as a primary thing of, I'm standing by this, and this is what I'm talking about, right? And kind of not off the Trump thing, because you're still promoting Trump. It's not working. That formula you're using isn't working.
Yeah.
The only reason why I think that they're in this place is this. This is why I think why they ended up here. They brought her on to pander to the black demographic in America.
Yes, I agree.
This is what I believe would
but
make.
Don't you think that's been a setup from the first 4 years ago when they had?
Wait. This is what. No, wait. What I'm saying is, how did they? Because here's what I'm trying to logically think about. How did they arrive at this, where they have somebody that isn't as charismatic as Obama? Because ultimately, you have a formula in Obama that seemed to win people over, that whipped them up. So what do? You try to find like-minded people who can articulate themselves well. The people who are good communicators are the ones who seem to move crowds and get them to vote. Ultimately, that's what it's about. It's about being able to move it. Obama was able to clearly articulate himself, even whether you agreed or you didn't agree, but he was able to intelligently say, like, well, this is the reason why we're going to do this. And this is the reason why it's important. He was able to appeal to people through culture, through music, I'm not saying that he's a good person or a bad person. I'm just saying how he's able to. He's able to, through intelligence, through emotions, through logic. He was able to go through the spectrums of communications. It doesn't seem like she has that. So here's how I think how it ended up. Biden was supposed to keep on running. It was never planned for him to pull out. What I think is his condition became so bad they couldn't hide it anymore. And it became so obvious they kept to hide it anymore. And by the time if he was in good state, they would have kept him on for another. They would have helped to have pushed him again for the next election. He had to pull out. At the time when he was pulling out, because remember, he started going against Trump. That's why they had presidential dates. So they couldn't switch to somebody completely different because it would take them too long to pick up. Whereas we can go with Kamala because at least she's known as the vice president, and it's like a switch thing. We can take the funding because it's within the party and give it to her. We can do all of this like transition quickly, easily, because in-house. We don't have to train someone up. We already know them. They know the play. They know the blah, blah. They know to play their position. We've worked with her for a couple of years, blah, blah, all of these things. But it's because initially they didn't put her based on her ability. They put her based on the fact that she appealed to a certain demographic.
But I knew that's what they were going to do from day one, from 4 years ago when because the reason why she got it, because I knew what's going to happen. Even we talked in my WhatsApp group with my friends. Once Biden won the election, and they had her as VP, I knew they were going to get rid of Biden and put her in. It was a matter of time.
Really?
Of course.
I always thought they was going to try and put Michelle Obama in, like, because
that did cross my mind. But when it was VP,
more public since Obama, she's been making speeches.
When it was her, I knew the play. Once you know the play, you know the play. I know where you want to go, so I can see the play already. Once we knew that, I said, okay, well, Biden's clearly not going to last, and she's going to be brought in. And it bypasses all the necessary ways of her debating. She didn't even do the first candidate to bypass all the logistical things that you have to do to be the front runner for any party. You know what I'm saying? And so I knew that from day one. And the reason why is because it's a woman, it's a black woman, so that's gonna trump. You understand? It's like, what is going to beat Trump? It has to be a black woman president, because now you've got all the women are going to support it. Because
but why did they not? Because it's now come out, as I said, from Candice, that she's actually not black at all.
Yeah, but then that's a conspiracy theory because it's not on mainstream media. It's just some hating.
But the point that I'm saying is, I feel that there are a lot of people that have said that, and I'm saying, if you are a party that feel that having a black woman as a president is so important to you, why would you not get a black woman?
Because like I told you before, it's about control. These people are trying to control the situation. So you have to find someone that, if you could do it naturally, you have to try and find someone that's articulate, someone that looks the part, someone that people are gonna like. You got to find. They have to have all of this talent that speaks well, that's gonna do well for the country. Whereas, if I was in power, I'd say, listen, that's long. Let me just go and find a model. Let me write the songs for her, just like they do for Tyler. She looks great. Let me just write her the hits. Let me style her up. Let me write the hits for her. I'll have a writing camp. Why wouldn't you do that? Rather than trying to find a singer that looks great, like that can perform, that writes hit songs consistently. That's too much.
Yeah.
So what do? You have to manufacture it, because what do we want? We need to find the star. And why can't you implement that strategy into everything else?
Yeah.
Into politics. It's the same, and you would do that.
Yeah. So listen, I'm loving this discussion. By the way,
let's move on, right?
I have to go football soon.
Okay.
So, listen, I want to move on because you were writing the book. You said you mentioned on the phone, but I wanted to know more about it, and I thought,
oh yeah, but I mean, this is totally different to what we're talking about. But yeah, I've written a book just basically helping singers, independent singers, get into the corporate and private events industry, to helping them get gigs and make money. Because right now, the industry is messed up. Right now, when it comes to music and talent and artists, they're struggling to put out music. They're struggling to sell music. Spotify is a scam. People that ain't making money. I mean, even Lily Allen recently came out and said that she makes more money off selling pictures of her feet on OnlyFans than she does on Spotify, right? And that's Liliana, who's had sold hundreds of thousands of records, millions of records worldwide. You know what I'm saying? And so the industry is in dire straits now. So a lot of artists have been disheartened now, and understandably, because there's not that much money in record sales and streaming. But a lot of artists can make huge money doing corporate gigs, corporate events, private events. So this book that I've written called High Paid Gigs is going to be out soon. It's helping singers get into the corporate and private events industry, gigging in that industry. And there's a lot of money to be made there. They get paid instantly. They can travel the world. They can use that money to invest in their career. There's so many artists right now just making a killing. They're traveling, performing for big brands like Nike or Coca-Cola, and earning thousands of pounds per gig. So this book is just helping and going to teach singers how to get into this industry, how to, in the right way, to make money, so they can use that money and start, investing it in their own career, putting out records or promoting and stuff like that. So that's what the book is about. It's scheduled to be out, if not Christmas time, but probably by the new year. So High Paid, I'm going to talk to you more about that once we get all the info ready. But that's the book, and it's the first book of its kind. There's no book out there in the world. It's an amazing book. It's the greatest book that if you haven't read it, if you don't, what did Biden say? If you don't vote for me, you're not black. So my one is, if you don't read this book, you're a waste man, because it's going to save your life. Yeah, so that's the book, High Paid Gigs.
Okay, cool.
Well, what about you? You said that what's going on with you? What's happening with your festival?
So
you're doing the festival soon, right?
Yeah, the festival's coming up 1st of December. It's the day of my birthday, actually. So this year, every year, I mean, typically for the festival, we've run it since 2016.
Right.
And we do it annually in Liverpool Street, Devonshire Square. And normally we'll have a headline act. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's other people, and then we'll have.
So this is your actual festival?
Yeah. Called the Soul Royalty Festival.
Wow.
And every year when we do the festival, we have different acts, and we generally specialize in soul, neo soul, R&B, and reggae every year. And we have a great audience, a family show that come out. We've got food, and people are dancing and singing, and it's a great vibe. Last year, we done a 90s R&B. So we had this band to sell out Jazz Cafe every single year called Vibe. And they done an amazing set. And at the end of the show, I said, what do you think if I done a reggae one? And they was like, yeah. So I decided this year we are going to do a reggae festival at the Soul Royalty Festival. Right. And this is called the Journey of Reggae. So we're going to be going through the different eras. So we're going to go from ska, rocksteady, reggae, right to the present day, all the reggae classics. We got some amazing singers. We got Tashai Makiba. I'm going to be performing. There's going to be Harmony Deja and Desi. We got so we got Celebrity Super. DJ Celebrity Super is going to be DJing every year. He comes down, smashes it, and we're going to have some amazing Jamaican food 1st of December, and we are going to be launching that this week, 1st December 2024. So if you guys are watching it, come down, check it out. We are raising money and awareness for the homeless charity. So this year, what we want is, a lot of the homeless people, what they really want is something like some gloves or some socks and, like a jumper. And it can be, something that you would have thrown out. Like every year after Christmas, people don't want clothes, or, they throw out clothes and have this clear out. But actually, do clear out before, like bring those items. We want to be able to give it to them, so that, because many, homeless people die early. They live very short lives living on the street, because the streets of London is very cold. It's very harsh conditions, and sometimes these people are just, there's just a bad situation has happened. They're just falling on hard times, and then because of that, it's just changed the trajectory of their lives. But we want to be able to cause a difference, and we want to use that through the gifts that God's given us to be able to perform for people. And so that's the festival.
Can I ask you a question? Is it that, are you asking people to bring clothes to donate? Because that could be an idea.
That's all. That's what we're asking. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
that's wicked.
Yeah. So we often send, clothes to the homeless, after the festival. We're making a really big push this year for people
Nice.
to bring an item of clothing or shower gel,
Yeah.
like gloves, something, it's a couple of quid for you, but imagine if you don't have gloves and you have gloves. It's a massive difference.
Yeah. So when is the festival?
Huh?
When is the festival?
1st of December, 2024, Liverpool Street.
Is it Devonshire?
Devonshire Square, across the road from Liverpool Street Station.
So is there a website that people can get to check it out?
Yes, I mean, the ticket link, I think it's easier. If you go to my social media, Zalon Music, Instagram, you can find it on Zalon Music. And then just look for the link in the bio and grab your ticket. So tickets are free, but, we do ask that you bring, an item of clothing. And I'll put a list of all the things that they need. So,
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So
Yeah,
I want to just move on because we only got a few more minutes, literally a few more minutes. Really quickly, I just want to talk about this subject of, and you know what it is? These subjects, the Trump thing. I know you wanted to speak about the clip that you showed me with the Nick Cannon. We can talk about that at a later stage. We can revisit these.
Yeah.
But we was talking about the role of, like, what is the impact of there being no A&Rs in artist development in the music industry? Personally, I believe that when I was younger, I used to feel like A&Rs were gatekeepers that were blocking talented artists. And they were blocking talent from being able to get out, right? Because they were selecting, and it was selecting based on, not based on talent. It was based on, who they could maybe exploit, etc. But the art of a great A&R produced some of the greatest artists and the greatest music that we've ever had. And there's a lot of trash out right now. There's a lot of mediocrity in the space, and that's personally what I think is missing. I remember when I was watching Teddy Riley and Babyface doing verses, and when they played those songs, something awoke in me. It was like, oh my God, this is what I was aspiring to. People who cared about the art form, who would, write lyrics, that would spend time to craft beautiful lyrics, beautiful music, and then have it performed and executed well. Those singers would do take after take after take to get that the perfect take, because it was something that would live on. And I think that in this era of this social media and algorithms, and we've lost great A&Rs who have helped us to create some of the greatest art, greatest talent that the world has ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, I think, to be honest, to give this question justification of a good answer, which I think we need to do, we need longer than 5 or 10 minutes. I think we need probably a whole hour on this. But because there's so many reasons why the industry is the way it is, right? And yes, A&R is a huge part of it, but so is technology, which plays a huge part. Because back in the days, to do anything, you need to have money. You need to have money to pay for a studio. Right? Studios weren't cheap. Music equipment weren't cheap. To say, oh, I want to sing, I want to record songs, you need to have thousands of pounds to do that. Right? You need, where you needed thousands of pounds for people to actually hear what you're doing. Right? You couldn't take your songs after you spent £1,000 in the studio. You couldn't just take it to radio for 100 people to hear it. You had nowhere to play it, so you just stayed at home as a demo. Right? You had no form of distribution to get it in record shops. Right? But now technology has made everything accessible. Right? Now any Tom, Dick, and Harry can record on their phone. Right? Any Tom, Dick, and Harry has access to recording equipment. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry has access to distribution, aka Spotify, aka YouTube, right? Every Tom, Dick, and Harry has access to your attention, social media, and now it's the floodgates are open, and when the floodgates are open, there isn't any gatekeeper or any quality control that's going to say, hey, this is not good enough. We're not going to play it. We don't have that. Whereas back in the days, you had that, which was radio, which was press, which was TV, right? Those were the things that were being played had gone through those rigid infrastructure and filtered out the rubbish, right? That's why when you look at the charts, you had amazing songwriters, you had amazing songs. And now, because the floodgates are open, because we have shows like X Factor and all of these things, which promote mediocrity, which promote just a very, what should I say, basic, surface level, what it means to be an artist, which is, oh, can you sing? Which doesn't mean anything really. It's about your artistry, songs and stuff like that. So it gives people the false impression, oh, well, if this girl from Croydon can do it, well, then so can I. And then now everyone thinks they're an artist, which disrespects the art. And then now we just have an influx of rubbish coming through. And as far as the A&R is concerned, and because of technology, we're now looking at algorithms. So it's not even about the quality of the music, it's about how many hits does this piece of content, and I hate the word content, it's disgusting. But how much data does this piece of content have? And so now that's what the A&R is looking for. It's not about the songs, it's about how many likes, how many streams. And so they're basing music on data. So now we don't have A&R, we have data analysts. So
Easy. And music emotional, isn't it?
the music and data has got this is emotionless, you know. Whereas back in the day with A&R, you had musicians, you had people that loved music, people that understood music, people that can spot a hit, and regardless of whether it's got 2 people or 3 people like it, they knew it's a great song and they believed in it and they're willing to spend money in it and push it forward. Whereas right now you can have a great song but with 2 listeners, and people go, well, you know what? No, let's go for the one the trend that's got a silly dance and has got this thing. And so that's where we're going to. A&Rs have been pushed out and replaced by data analysts, because there's no way that you have the rubbish that we have now and is being accepted. Like, I mean, you can look at the rap scene now in America, all of that's in all these rubbish, below par so-called artists who are either strippers or thugs. No musical bone in their body, no theatrical, they don't even know how to perform, they don't even know how to hold a microphone, yet they're thrusted as an amazing artist, and they have so many followings, but those followings could be doctored. We don't know, because we're in the land of technology now. So the industry is in a bad way, and it can only be fixed if we had gatekeepers. It can only be fixed if we had people who are brave enough to say, this is rubbish, this is crap, this is no good. Because there are talented people out there, there are really talented artists out there that are not getting a look in, you know, because they don't have the money, they don't have the infrastructure of a good A&R to help them develop the talent that they have, you know. So now these talented artists are now having to compete with algorithms and now having to do TikTok dances and just to get views, having to do cringy stuff just for people to hear their music, and all they want to do is just sing beautiful songs. But now you find them doing fucking, you know, stupid dances, acting like a marketing guy. You have to be a marketing guy, you have to be a promoter, you have to be a social media specialist, management. You have to do this every day for 5 years. Come on, man.
Yeah. But listen, I have to go now. Thank you for this. So once again, just to kind of like close it out from how I started it. Well, the aim is now we're going to upload this in its raw form, then use Opus Clip, copy paste the link. It will automatically give us short clips, and then we'll be using that to post online, and incorporating all the other things that we post online. But it should hopefully give us more visibility, be seen everywhere.
And so yeah, it's true, because what we're discussing is just about, because both of us are musicians. We've been in this game. I've been in this game for nearly over 3 decades, right? So I know what I'm talking about. I've been there. I've done it. We've been there, right? We know the influence. We know this industry in and out. And it's just a case of kind of shining our experience and sharing out the mistakes that we've made, so that you don't make these mistakes, but also trying to bring back integrity and musicianship and emotions back into the game, you know. Yeah, and passion. And sorry,
excellent.
And excellence, yeah. Because there's people out there, there's really talented people out there that are not getting a look in. So we want to be a voice for them. And obviously we're going to talk about other things in life as well.
I also think even being excellent, you know, you might be a great artist, but then we want to be able to shine light to say, well, you need work on your marketing and sales and your business acumen.
Yeah.
You might have somebody who's really good on their business, but it's like, well, you need to work on your talent. So it's a spectrum, and hopefully we can kind of shed light and guide people through that.
Exactly. So make sure to tell them to like and subscribe. So like and subscribe.
Follow.
Like and subscribe.
Are you?
Never knew I'd be saying all this stuff, but apparently people say this now.
I am Leo. Like, what's your socials?
It's good. I don't know. I've not created my thing yet, so I'll probably put it under the thing. But it's going to be the Lion Raw. It's going to be at the Lion Raw with RAW.
Sorry. Let me go and speak. Sorry.
So like and subscribe is going to be the Lion Raw, which is sorry. Let me start again. It's like and subscribe. It's going to be the Lion Raw, but it's spelled with RAW.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can find me Zalon Music everywhere.
Okay. Amazing.
Cool. All right, bro. Peace. Yeah, we'll catch up.
All right, bro. Catch up. Good luck with your football. I hope you lose.